So if you're in the Zoom room, this is the last time you'll hear me say it, but I'm going to say it for everybody, or for if you just joined us. You're going to need a prop for today's class. And I say that loosely because it's really okay if you end up not having one. If you just don't have something handy, don't worry about it. What I'm going to use for my prop is a yoga block, a cork fat block, because that's what I have access to. What you might have at home, it could be one of the foam yoga blocks. If you're like, well, no, I don't have any yoga blocks. I'm at my house, not a studio. You could use a rolled up blanket or towel. You could use a pillow or anything else. What we're going to do, you can actually do without a prop, so don't worry about it at all if you're already settled in on your mat and you don't want to jump up. So I believe we're ready. We'll get started. My name is Laura, by the way, and we'll get started in a comfortable seated position. Okay. Close your eyes and sit up tall. Rest your hands on your legs or in your lap, but instead of stretching your arms out in front of you, like placing your hands on or beyond your knees, slide your elbows back until they're resting underneath your shoulders. That creates two sensations that I really enjoy. One is a softness in the shoulders, as your shoulders move down away from your ears. The other is a broadness across the front of the heart. So you expand across the front of your chest, lift slightly up and out away from your seat, and begin to deepen your breath. Allow your breath to move slowly in and out of your nose. And see if you can move to the ends of your breath. So usually we are not using the capacity of the lungs. Our resting breath is very shallow. That's fine. That's all we need when we're not breathing in a mindful way or breathing to accomplish something in the body and mind. So see if you can move closer to the top of your inhales and the bottoms of your exhales. Find that the second one, moving to the ends of your exhalations, that's where the real magic is, because that's what allows you to fill your lungs after that completely. Even after a really short amount of time, just a couple rounds of this type of breathing, is there change in your body? Is there change in your experience or the way that you're living in your experience? So you might have the same flow of energy, or you might be feeling the same emotions, but the way that you respond to them might change as you take control of your breath. Now, as you continue to breathe deeply, I'd like you to think about something that you're trying to grow in your body. A feeling, an emotion, something that you're trying to build through this practice and through this experience. It could be something simple like peace. It could be bravery or strength. It could be anything that you always work on, that you know that you need more of, or something that's unique to today. I'll let you know that my intention for today's class in my teaching is grounding. That's my word for today, is grounding. And I'll talk about that a little bit throughout class. If you are struggling to come up with one for yourself, you could hang on to grounding. Or you could bring your own intention through this class. Whatever your intention is, take your right hand, place it flat over the center of your heart center, so not your heart organ, but in the center of your chest. And place your left hand flat over your right hand. Bow your mind gently toward your heart. And for just a moment, while still breathing, allow your intention to rest in your heart. What does it feel like? What's the process for you of dedicating your practice to that intention? You lift your chin from your chest. Open your eyes. Inhale, sweep your arms out like a circle and stretch them high up above you. Deep breath in. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest and empty your lungs completely. You can do this with eyes open or closed. 2 more times. Inhale, stretch your arms out and up. Deep breath in. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your heart. Slowly drag them down. Last time. Inhale, stretch your arms out and up, reach high. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Tabletop, please make your way onto all fours. You'll have your wrists right underneath your shoulders. Place your knees directly underneath your hips. Once you get there, spread your fingers wide and make your hands work really hard. Take a big inhale, drop your belly, lift your heart, and lift your tailbone, glance up. Exhale, round your back, press your spine to the sky, tuck your chin and tuck your tailbone. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your heart, lift the crown of your head. Exhale, round your back, cat pose, press your spine up to the sky. Close your eyes if it helps. 2 more times. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your heart, open the front of your chest. Exhale, round your back, press your spine up, tuck your chin. Last time. Inhale, drop your belly for cow pose. Exhale, round your back for cat. Okay, neutral spine, you can push play on your playlist because I forgot to say it sooner. If you haven't already, you can push play on the playlist. On YouTube, it's in the comments. In the Zoom room, it's in the chat. I think everybody has it. Just let me know if you don't. And once you got your jams going, quick down dog. Tuck your toes, stretch your hips up and back. Your legs don't have to be straight, especially this early in the day. But you can explore the sensation through the backs of your legs by bending one knee at a time and by reaching the other heel more down to the floor. Breathe. And feel the way that your intention rests in your heart even, and especially when we have started to feel sensation. Set your knees back down onto the floor so that you're on a tabletop again. And now you can move your body freely in any way that feels nice. So I like ribs side to side to feel the first side body stretches. You can pick up arms and legs, stretch them out. You can twist or stretch your wrists or your forearms. You can take weight out of your hands if they're tired. There's no wrong way to move as long as it's serving you. Downward dog. Tuck your toes, stretch your hips up and back. spike your heels up high into the air so that you're on the balls of your feet like you're wearing really high heels for some strange reason. Bend your knees a lot, but keep your hips high. So instead of knees to floor, hips low like I'm demoing, keep your hips up high now while continuing to bend your knees profoundly. So you can imagine somebody nice is lifting up and back on your hip creases. You'll notice that your belly might move a lot closer to your thighs as you bend your knees a lot like this. Keep your knees bent. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. Place your heels on the floor. Shift some weight back into your heels so that you can grab a hold of opposite elbows. If you prefer a different arm variation, be my guest. Forward folds like the one that you're in are inherently grounding. Forward folds create a downward flow of energy in the body. You can accentuate that by focusing more of your awareness in your exhalations. Give your exhalations a rich quality as well as length. You release your arms back down to the floor. Keep your knees bent at least a little bit. Drop your head, relax your neck, and roll slowly to standing. Your chin will be the last thing to lift. Make your legs strong. Slowly rise. Push the floor down with your heels. Bring your chin to neutral. Spread your fingers wide and rotate your palms forward so that they face the front wall. Strengthen your legs. So if your legs lock, like mine do unfortunately, unlock your knees, tone your belly, and lengthen your low back. Inhale, stretch your arms out and up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Lead with your heart. Drop your head, drop your arms. Inhale, halfway lift. Pull the front of your heart through your shoulders. Hold this pose and keep breathing. I love this pose. We just breeze right through it so often. Your legs do not have to be straight. You could bend your knees to modify. But instead of a round spine, what we're going for is a very long and straight spine. So pull the front of your heart forward through your shoulders toward the front of your mat. Make the back of your neck long. Keep your belly strong. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, downward dog. Bend your knees as much as you need to place your hands on the floor and walk your hands out to the top of your mat. Again, spike your heels up high into the air. This time you'll keep your legs just as straight as you can get them. It's okay if they're not straight right now. Tone your belly, and we'll imagine a wave traveling through the spine as you start to very, very slowly move forward. Point your tailbone down at your heels. Hug your ribs in. We're starting to move closer to plank pose, but we're not there yet. Hug your front ribs up. Lift your chin more away from your chest. And now we'll stack the shoulders directly on top of the wrists. You're in a safe and engaged plank pose. Take one more inhale. Lift your chin slightly more away from your chest. With your knees up or down, exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Bend your elbows straight back until you're resting on the ground. Untuck your toes, point your toes back, and press the tops of your feet down. Inhale, cobra, lift your heart. Make the back of your neck long. Exhale, lower down, place your forehead on the floor. Press your feet harder down, firm your glutes. Inhale, cobra, lift your heart, slide your shoulder blades down away from your ears. Exhale, lower down, forehead to the floor. Last time, cobra. Inhale, lift your heart. Sanskrit name is Bhujangasana. Exhale, downward dog. You can go through a tabletop or a reverse push-up to get back to down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale Inhale, lift your right leg up and back behind you any amount. Exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Help your foot forward. If it got stuck part of the way there, use your right hand and hike your right foot so it's flat at the top of your mat. Set your left knee down onto the ground and untuck your left toes. Take an inhale, reach your arms to the ceiling. Hold here. Exhale, bend your right knee more. Move your hips down and forward. One more inhale, stretch up higher. Exhale, place your hands on the floor. Tuck your back toes and step forward. Left foot meets the right at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Remember, long spine, you can bend your knees. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Make your legs strong as you stand up. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your heart. Inhale, stretch your arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Tone your belly and move slowly. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen the sides of your body. Exhale, step your right foot back. So put your hands down first. Keep your left foot forward and step your right foot to the back of your mat. Set your right knee down onto the floor. Untuck your right toes. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Hold here. Exhale, move your hips down and forward. One more inhale, reach your arms more up and back. Exhale, downward dog. Plant your hands, tuck your back toes, and step your left foot back next to your right. Take a huge breath in and a big breath out. Inhale, lift your left leg any amount. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Help it if it doesn't make it. Set your right knee down onto the ground. Untuck your right toes. Inhale, stretch your arms all the way up. Hold here. Exhale, bend your left knee and empty your lungs. One more inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, place your hands on the floor and step forward. Right foot meets the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, reach high. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your heart. Inhale, stretch your arms up and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot to the back of your mat. The right foot stays forward. Move your left foot all the way back. Set your left knee down and untuck your toes. Inhale, rise, reach your arms up. Hold here. Exhale, bend your right knee. One more inhale, reach more up and back. Exhale, downward dog. Take your time, no rush here. We'll hold down dog for a couple of breaths. Slow down your breathing. And feel the way that your intention rests in your heart space. Inhale, bend your knees, look at the floor between your hands. Exhale, feet forward. You can step, walk, or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Reach your arms out and up. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Inhale, stretch your arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your heart forward. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. That means mid-plank. So you put your hands down, step or jump your feet back, and lower slowly, halfway or all the way. Inhale, Cobra or Up Dog, your choice. You can stay low or lift your knees off with your elbows straight. Exhale, Downward Dog. Hold in Down Dog for a couple of breaths. Make your hands strong like we did in the very beginning of class. And push the floor away from you and lengthen from the heels of your hands to your armpits. Continue that lengthening action and lengthen from your armpits to your hip creases as you stretch your hips higher up and back behind you. Inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, feet forward, step walk or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen all four sides of your torso. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, rise to standing, tone your belly, move slowly, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Inhale, stretch your arms out and up, reach high. Exhale, forward fold, press your inner thighs back. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the front of your heart, expand your chest. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, step or jump back, lower slowly. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Open your ribs, lift your heart, very good. Downward dog, exhale. See if you can find a hollowness in the belly. So instead of even just thinking belly button to spine, think that you can lift your whole lower belly up, but also in. Like your belly button can move up and in toward your breathing diaphragm. Inhale, bend your knees, glance between your hands. Exhale, move your feet to the top of your mat. Close your feet all the way together. Inhale, just a halfway lift here. Lengthen your spine. Exhale. Inhale, chair pose. Sit your hips low. Reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest. There's a tendency to hinge way far forward in this pose. So lift your heart up to your thumbs so that your spine is really long, a little more upright. Tone your belly and lengthen your tailbone like your back can be a straight line instead of a sway in your low back. Squeeze your knees together as best you can and shift your weight back into your heels so that your toes are light. Lift your heart to your thumbs. Shift your weight to your right foot. And just hover your left foot an inch up off the floor. It just picked up a tiny bit. The risk is low. The stakes are low. If you need to put a foot down or you fall over, it's fine. You're not going very far. Lift your heart up to your thumbs more. Then extend slowly, slowly your left leg straight back behind you. Now straighten both legs as best you can. Both legs grow straight. Close your left hip down toward the floor. Land your left foot at the back of your mat. Reach your arms up. We're in crescent lunge. So you'll be on the ball of your back foot with all 10 toes pointing straight forward, but the feet are not on a tightrope. So if you feel like your feet are on a tightrope and you feel really wobbly, move your right foot over to the right. Sit deeply into the bend in your right knee, but pull back on your right hip crease. Take one more inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, release your hands to the floor so that they frame your right foot. Inhale, pull the front of your heart forward through your shoulders, make your spine long. Exhale, pyramid, begin to straighten your right leg. Send your hips up and back. Your right leg does not keep it bent. So this is another version, a different type of forward fold, as we are folded in half over the right leg. Focus on your exhalations and slow down your breathing. The next pose is down dog. If you'd like a challenge. Plant your hands and keep your right leg as straight as you can as you slide your right foot back next to your left. Slow transition to plank pose. Slide your, spike is the word, spike your heels up. Tuck your tailbone to point at your heels. Move slowly with me. Hug your front ribs toward your back ribs. Slide your shoulders forward over your wrists and lift your chin away from your chest. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower slowly, either halfway or all the way. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Untuck your toes. Lift your heart. Downward dog, exhale. Inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, feet forward to the top with your mat. Close your feet all the way together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, sit your hips low, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Just a couple breaths here, lift your heart up a lot. There is a tendency for a sway back, which is why for years a lot of yoga teachers said tuck your tailbone, which we don't say anymore because of the overcorrection that happened. So to fix a sway back, we want to lengthen the low back without going too far the other way. So we want more of a neutral pelvis. Shift the weight to your left foot and just hover your right foot an inch. Move slowly with me. Just the right foot picks up a little bit up off the floor, more than an inch. Tone your belly. Lift your heart. Then slowly press your right heel back behind you. Hinge slightly forward and then press both legs straight. Both legs just as straight as you can get them. Falling does not mean failing. Close your right hip more down and pull the front of your heart more forward. Crescent, land your right foot at the back of your mat. Send your arms up to the ceiling. That's a tricky transition, so check out where your feet are. We want the feet to be to the sides of the midline, but we are on the ball of the back foot. Bend your left knee straight forward and move your left hip crease backwards in space. So that's the whole pelvis, right hip forward, left hip back. Take one more inhale, reach up higher. Exhale, place your hands on the floor for pyramid. Inhale, pull the front of your heart forward. I like that prep step. Exhale, pyramid. So I'll encourage you to stay on the ball of your back foot. Tug your left hip crease backwards in space. Press down through the ball mound of the big toe of your left foot. Sometimes my cues are just what I see myself doing incorrectly as far as alignment goes. So I saw myself rocking to the outer edge of my left foot. If you'd like that challenge, keep your left leg as straight as you can get it. This side is harder for me. And step your left foot back next to your right. Spike your heels up. Tuck your tailbone to point at your knees. I really do mean tuck in this transition. Tone your belly. Hug your ribs in. Stack your shoulders over your wrists and lift your chin away from your chest. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Untuck your toes. Reach your arms down alongside your body. So everybody's on the belly. Turn your palms flat to the floor so that your thumbs point to the sides. Press your feet hard down. Firm your glutes and press your pubic bone down into the floor. Press your feet down, pick up your hands, pick up your chest, pick up your head. Sometimes what happens is we think we get a lot of lift by lifting the eyes and the chin. But that's just because that's where the ego kind of perceives height. So drop your eye gaze a little bit, relax your eyebrows, and make the back of your neck long. Pick your hands up just a little bit higher, and turn your palms open like you want your thumbs to point slightly more up. Press your feet harder down, tone your belly, lift your chest. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Put your hands on the floor to the sides of your chest. Tuck your toes. Downward dog, you can either go through a tabletop with me, or you could do a reverse push-up from the ground up to get back to down dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, move your feet to the top of your mat. Sit down onto the floor. Grab your prop, whatever you have. So just have it handy. Block, blanket, towel, Clorox wipes, whatever you have. And lie down on your back. Feel the ground underneath you. How does your breath move in the back of your body against the earth? Take whatever prop you have and place it between your thighs. So a little closer down. So instead of up high by your knees, a little closer to your hips. So if you have a yoga block, if you have, if you have one of the fat blocks, I'm doing medium level, so we're not trying to have anything too skinny between the thighs. What we want is, whatever you have. If it's a thick rolled up towel, you can do this without a prop. But when I say squeeze your prop, you'll just squeeze your legs together. So a little closer down. Interlace your hands behind the back of your head. So I will give you a disclaimer. This is my favorite core work, and the reason why I don't teach it on Sunday mornings is because it's really hard to teach while I do. So don't get too scared. It is difficult, but I might take breaks here and there so that I can prioritize teaching instead of practicing. We got the prop between the thighs. Squeeze it really hard. Squeeze your prop as hard as you can between your legs. And notice that your low back wants to curve away from the floor. Don't let it. Press your low back flat down into the floor. It's like you're shortening the front of your body by closing your pubic bone to your belly button. Squeeze your prop again. You'll get tired of hearing me say that. And I'm fine with that. Close your elbows so that they point more to the ceiling above you. Leave your head on the floor. Squeeze your block. Pick your feet up so that your shins are parallel to the floor. Squeeze your block hard and press your low back down into the floor. So it got a little harder to keep those two things going, right? The low back wants to curve up. Don't let it. Press your low back down into the floor. Squeeze your block hard. Now push your feet just an inch forward toward the front wall and make your low belly flat. We've got the elbows pointed up. Look at the ceiling above your face. Lift your shoulder blades up off the floor. So you're looking up and lifting your heart up instead of looking at your block. Look at the ceiling. Prop. Squeeze your block harder. Push your feet an inch forward toward the front of your mat and lift your heart up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, twist your elbows up and over to your right. So nothing changes about the legs or the low back. Just twist your elbows up and over to your right. Try to pick your right shoulder blade way up off the floor. Squeeze your block. Back through center, inhale, lift your elbows, lift your heart. Other side, exhale, twist up and over to your left. Squeeze your block and push your feet just an inch forward. Your knees have a tendency to travel back toward your face. Try to pick your left shoulder blade up off the floor and twist deeper. Squeeze your block. Back through center, inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, release your head and feet to the floor. Woo. Take a breath. And we'll set up the same way. Stack your knees over your hips so that your shins are parallel to the floor. The hands are still interlaced to behind your head. Wrap your elbows so they point up to the ceiling and press your low back down into the floor. Push your feet 1 inch forward toward the front of your mat. Look up, lift up. Squeeze your block hard. We're lifting up through center to the ceiling. Push your feet 1 inch forward if you feel that they have traveled back, and relax your eyebrows. I'm talking to myself when I say that. Take an inhale, lift your heart up higher. Exhale, twist up and over to the right. Squeeze your block. Option, straighten your right leg to the ceiling. Squeeze your block. This is optional. Straighten also now your left leg to the ceiling so that both legs are straight. Squeeze your block. Twist deeper. Bend both knees. Inhale, lift your elbows through center. Exhale, twist up and over to your left. Squeeze your block. Option, straighten your left leg. You could keep both knees bent, holding. Of course, you can take a break anytime you want, but this is the last round and we're almost done. Straighten your right leg to the ceiling. Squeeze your block harder. Squeeze your block harder. Bend your knees 90 degrees. Lift your elbows through center. Inhale. Exhale, release and get rid of the stupid prop. Are we mad at it? No, Laura, we're not mad at the prop, we're mad at you. Feel what that feels like, the memory of sensation in your belly. The flow of energy. So if we move beyond the physical sensation of the muscles that have worked, what lies beyond that? What do you feel in your heart that is different from the muscular sensation? If you recall the intention that you set at the beginning of class, how does that sit in your heart with what you have accomplished so far on the mat? Hug your knees to your chest. You can have knees apart, hands on knees, forearms, whatever works for you. And let's meet in a downward dog. We're going to meet in a down dog. You can roll over your ankles, you can do a vinyasa, or my technical yoga term, mosey on back, however you want to. Oh, I'm creaky. From down dog, inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands, stay low. Plant your left hand under your left shoulder. So instead of moving your left hand to your right foot, keep your left hand wide to the left edge of your mat. Reach your right arm to the ceiling. Stack your right knee directly over your right heel and lift the back of your left knee toward the ceiling. Turn your right palm so it faces your front wall and extend your right arm alongside your right ear. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release your right hand to the floor, wide-legged fold. Turn to your left. It's a symmetrical pose. So we've got the feet pigeon-toed slightly. They're in one line with each other. Just a couple of breaths here as you fold in half at your hips. Okay, inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, place your hands on your hips and stand all the way up. Turn your right toes so that your right foot points at the top of your mat. The left foot is still pigeon-toed. Bend your right knee and extend your arms. Make your left leg extremely straight. Turn your right hip just slightly back and your left hip slightly forward, but turn your ribcage open on top of that. Open your left shoulder away from the front of your mat. Inhale, reverse warrior. Reach your right arm up and back. Exhale, chaturanga or down dog. Put your hands down, step back, and either lower slowly or lift your hips with me. Inhale, up dog if you're moving. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Plant your right hand. It stays wide to the right edge of your mat. Reach your left arm up to the ceiling. Bend your left knee so that your left knee is directly on top of your left heel, and lift the back of your right knee toward the ceiling. Turn your left palm so that it faces the front wall, and extend your left arm alongside your left ear. Take an inhale. Exhale, release your left hand to the floor, to the right side of your mat, and turn into wide-legged fold. So you'll turn both of your feet to face the long edge of your mat, but pigeon-toe slightly. Turn your toes in and your heels out. Just a little bit. Lift from your inner arches up to your knees. Lift your kneecaps up toward your hips. Lengthen your spine like you can pull the front of your heart away from your pubic bone. And relax your neck. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, place your hands on your hips and stand all the way up. Turn just your left foot. Point your left toe straight forward. Bend your left knee. We do have a slight turn still of the right foot, so your toes are forward of the heel. If you don't feel challenged by the length of your stance, sometimes if the stance is too short, we just don't feel anything in the hips. You can move your right foot more backwards so you have a really long stance. Inhale, reverse warrior. Reach up and back with your left arm, long breath in. Exhale, chaturanga or down dog. Please make your way to a comfortable seat. You can be kneeling, you could be cross-legged, or you could be sitting on your prop. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Notice how your heart is beating. Notice how your breath is moving. If you're feeling warm, you could have your hands resting palm face up on your legs or in your lap. If you don't feel like it would feel too warm, place your right hand flat over your heart center and your left hand flat on top of your right. Breathe into your hands if they're there. And just for a couple more breaths, allow your awareness to be within your own experience. So all together, take a deep breath in, fill your lungs. Open mouth, exhale, sigh. Empty your lungs completely, push all the old air out, continue pushing. And one more deep breath in, fill up all the way to the top. Open mouth, exhale, sigh. You can release your hands away from your heart if they're there. We'll do one pose seated. Doesn't matter which way you face. Extend your right leg wide to the right. I'll try to mirror you. Extend your right leg wide to the right and place the sole of your left foot to the inside of your right leg. It doesn't matter how wide your right leg goes. It could be kind of narrow, just any angle that's wider than straight forward. Some of you will have your leg way off to the side, more so than I will demo. Place your left hand on your left hip. Place your right fingertips on the floor to the inside of your right leg. Just subtly take your left shoulder and open it. Open your left shoulder away from your right foot. Remember that cue, I'll mention it again. Welcome to the pose. This is bus stop number 1. If you need more, you can crawl your right fingertips away from you, closer to your right foot. You could reach your left arm either up or alongside your left ear. So I'll mention that cue again. Turn your left shoulder open away from your right foot. Lift the bottom of your rib cage up off the top of your pelvis. And move your whole rib cage more left. Ground through your left sitting bone and reach farther. Take an inhale. Exhale, sit back upright, other side. Rebend your right knee, extend your left leg straight out to the left. Any angle. Place your right hand on your right hip and place your left fingertips on the floor to the inside of your left leg. Turn your right shoulder open away from your left foot. Flex your left foot. Welcome to the pose. If you need more, crawl your left fingertips closer to your left foot. Reach your right arm either up, you can pause there, or alongside your right ear. Lift the bottom of your rib cage up away from the top of your pelvis. Ground through your right sitting bone and reach longer with your right fingers. Take one more inhale to your right lung. Exhale, sit back upright. Plant your feet on the floor in front of you. I'm going to turn myself. Plant your feet on the floor in front of you and place your hands behind you on the floor. It doesn't matter how your hands go. They're really just resting back there. Separate your feet to the edges of your mat and windshield wiper your knees from side to side. You might travel forward a little, that's okay. Next time your knees point back up through center, lie down on your back. We still have the feet planted and the knees bent. Cross your right ankle to your left thigh. I like to get closer so that the sound is a little better, maybe. So right ankle to left thigh. If you don't feel a hip stretch on the right side, interlace your hands behind the back of your left thigh or in front of your left shin. Just a couple of breaths here. Can you deepen your breath in order to deepen into your experience? Release, other side. Press your left ankle to your right thigh. You can interlace your hands behind the back of your right thigh or in front of your right shin. So that's optional. If you feel enough with your right foot on the floor, leave it there. This pose is notorious, so hip stretches like this one, they are notorious for making you feel things that aren't physical. So the emotional feelings, you feel them physically, but it's not because of your physical body. So I'm getting a distinct flow of energy in the belly that I know is not a physical sensation directly related to the pose. So it's not good or bad necessarily, I'm just sitting with it, wondering if I have something to learn from it, or learn about myself from it. Release, unravel, happy baby. Show the bottoms of your feet toward the ceiling. You can grab on behind your knees as a level 1. You can grab onto the fronts of your shins or your ankles as a level 2. Or grab onto the outer edges of your feet. Pull down with your hands and also kick up with your feet. I find that those two movements together help to create traction and length in the low back. So you can point your tailbone more forward instead of up. And rock side to side or straighten your legs out. Release, Shavasana. Extend your legs so that they rest straight out on the floor in front of you. Release your arms so that they rest down alongside your body. Palms face up. You can fidget around to make yourself really comfortable. And once you're comfortable, let yourself settle in. You deserve this rest. Even if it doesn't come that easily or naturally to your mind, your body deserves this rest. So give yourself permission to enjoy it in the short amount of time that we're here. Begin to deepen your breath. Find movement in your hands and in your feet. Find movement in your arms and in your legs, and rock your head gently from side to side on the floor. Stretch your arms behind you on the floor. Take a long stretch. Take a deep breath. Fetal pose either side. Bend your knees, roll over, and rest your head on your bottom arm. Press your weight into your top hand. Press up to a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Bow your mind to your heart. With your intention in your heart, namaste. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Please let me know if you have any questions. Got the live stream, so I'll see you guys next week.